Hey guys, Ash here, Racial Legends. Welcome to the video. I'm glad to have you all here with me today. I'm sending some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need them out there today. Guys, we got a good one today. We got a good one as one of my favorite topics. Complaining about really crappy epics in the game, right?
What?
Yeah!
That's my boy!
These are epics that, man, I would still, by the way, empower crappy epics. I don't know about you guys, but I still have like a big vault of empowered, non-upgraded epic champions. Just hoping, just praying to the Plarium gods that one day, just one day, they will actually buff them.
Are you for real, dude?
I've been waiting a long time.
That's love, bitch.
And I think I'm gonna have to wait a much longer time here. You know what the thing is? When you look at the epics, today we're gonna rank the top 10 worst epics from 10 all the way to the worst to the worst to the worst. When you look at the epics in the game, you know what? To their credit, there's not that many bad epics in the new factions. So at least kind of the new-ish last 2 years or so, especially like Shadowkin, I mean, there's not that many really awful ones. I would say like on the worst in the Sylvan Watchers, definitely Cormac. He almost made the list, but there's 10 easily worse than him, I think. But anyway, I digress. But there's some oldies that, man, it's not that hard. I mean, no offense, Plarium, I love you, but it's not that hard to go in there and give a little bufferooski to an epic once in a while. Would it kill ya?
It will kill. Jamie, it will kill. It'll kill.
All right, I've made my point. Let's get into the list. Number 10. Number 10, I don't know. Some of you guys, by the way, are card-carrying members of the Hordin fan club, and I don't understand. Every time I throw shade at this dude, there's a few comments, maybe dozens of them. They're like, Ash, you're wrong about Hordin. This guy's a beast. Well, you know what? I actually maxed him, and I hate him. And I'm not just judging him as an endgame player either. Like, I think it's worse for an early game player to invest in a bad epic champion than it is for an endgame player, because like, whatever. Anyway, the reviews like this dude. It's crazy. You can't trust the reviews in this damn game. And these are the new reviews after the reset. Who is reviewing these champions?
Hello, and welcome to Review. I'm Forrest McNeil, and as always, I will review any experience you want me to.
All right, so what does he do? So his base stats suck. He's supposed to be a nuker. His base attack sucks. He has 800 freaking defense, 95 speed. He's got a 2-time hitter on his A1, extra turn if you kill a target with his A1. Wow. His A2, a single target attack on a 4-turn cooldown. Hey, you can book it up to have a 75% chance of a decreased attack for 2 turns. Oh, he's got a little heal. Well, he must be insane. His A3 must be like a full lockout to make this skill, to make this champion good. He's got an increased attack, an increased crit rate, and an increased speed on this champion with an extra turn on a 6-turn, book down to 5-turn cooldown. Okay, so best case scenario. You have a decently hard-hitting attacker with single target, with 1 target on a 4-turn cooldown, you know, that has an extra turn if a target's killed on the A1. What are we looking for from this dude? Maybe back in 2018, he was decently kind of serviceable. But man, I really hate this dude. I think that Hordin is awful. He's number 10 on the list. Man, there's going to be some fighting words in the comments today. There really is.
You enjoying this?
I apologize. I'm just trying to do you a favor. I'm trying to stop you from loving these crappy champions, guys. I love you. I love you. Your boy Ash loves you. I got your back. All right, number 9 on the list. I want to give a little honorable mention, Snorting Thug. He could have been on the list. This guy fooled me, man. He's got to ignore 100% targets defense, but he sucks. Anyway, he's not on the list. He almost made it. Reinbeast. When I started playing this game, everybody wanted Reinbeast because passive worked totally differently than it is now. They went in, they nerfed him. It was a good old-fashioned epic nerf. They can't buff him, but damn, they can nerf him. The corpulent cadavers of the world. My man's slow. He's supposed to be like a defense-based champion, and he's just whatever. Continuous heal on the ally with lowest HP, not bad on the A1. On the A2, attacks 1 enemy 2 times, revives a random ally with full HP and no turn meter if the attack kills an enemy on a 5-turn cooldown with no damage. Wow. How the hell am I going to kill somebody on a 5-turn cooldown just to revive a random ally? What, bro? What? He can't even kill Sun Wukong. He's Force Affinity. What are you doing with this guy? When an ally's attack places a shield, equal to 35% of this champion's max HP on the ally with 2 turns on a 2-turn cooldown. All right, so you got a shield and no damage. Man, Reinbeast used to be the GOAT. Now he is far from it. All right, number 9 on the list. Number 9 on the list is going to be Atur. Atur?
Atur.
The naked guy. Atur is a Kalia companion champion. Kalia is actually a lot better than she used to be. The one cool thing about this dude is he's immune to stun, freeze, and sleep. But you can be immune to everything. If you suck, who cares? No one's using him, you know? What does this guy do? He's got a counterattack ability, heals his champion 15% of his max HP, plays a counterattack on him when he's hit with a critical hit. So now we're like, okay, wait a second here, Ash. You're being this is 2 passives on an epic champion? This guy's not that bad. Well, let's look at his A1 and his A2 ability, right? He's an HP based champion, or his HP champion, whose damage is based on defense, doesn't do any damage. That's fine. What else has he got? He's got a 50% provoke for 1 turn on his A1. On his A2, Raging Bull attacks 2 times at random. Each hit has a 75% chance when booked of placing a provoke for 1 turn. So that's his whole kit. He does no damage. He's not super tanky. And he has a random provoke. Why do I have him on the list? He doesn't sound that bad, especially compared to some of the schlubs that we've spoken about so far. And the truth is, he didn't used to be that bad. But nowadays, they've upped the game. For example, we all get Jizzo for free when we start the game. He's got a 2-turn provoke, and you get to choose the target, right? You can't use him as a head of decay provoker. It's random targets on his provoke on his A2. You can't use him for a decay provoker on his A1 because it's only a 50% chance of provoke. It's not high enough to use him as a dependable provoker, right? If he had an AoE provoke, he'd be great, you know? If he had a choose your target 100% provoke, he'd be fantastic. But right now, he's really just kind of wave fodder, kind of semi-unreliable control for like faction wars, right? That's not what you want out of an epic champion. Not nowadays, when you have amazing provokers up the wazoo, right? You got Skoramis, AoE provoke, 3-turn cooldown, counterattack on himself, continuous heal on himself. He's got stuns on his A1. He's got AoE, he's got decreased attack, he's got turn meter fill. You compare something like that to a newer provoker, right? To an older provoker, and you're like, yeah, Atur needs a buff desperately. 7 is gonna be an orc, and it's my man Tolf the Maimed. So here's the thing about voids. When you get a void epic, it's a special occasion. They charge like $5 for epic shard in this game, or for void shard rather. Epic shards, that'd be, I don't want to give player many ideas here. Legendary shards. Mythical shards are only $8,000 each. Guaranteed mythical.
Consequences for the one responsible would be severe.
Tolf, he's slow. What does he do? He's got a each hit heals his champion that can't be critical. Yay, that's exciting. A heal-based A1 that can't be critical based on the damage it's dealt. Cool. Cut wide open. When not attacking bosses, inflicts pure damage, 100% ignore defense, and decreases the target's HP by 50% to 50%, right? So take them down to 50% HP. Inflicts damage based on this champion's max HP instead of not the enemy's max HP, this champion's max HP. And places a stun for 1 turn if the target already has less than 50% HP. Inflicts damage based on this champion's max HP when attacking bosses. And it can't be critical. What does that end? What is that? All that cockamamie? What does that end up with? It means that he doesn't deal much damage, right? Decrease the value of enemy shield buffs by 50% at the start of every turn. Then increases his champion's max HP by the same amount, up to 25% of his max HP. That's it. That's his whole kit. You get a dude who doesn't deal any damage, who can't crit hit, with a shield devaluer. That's Tolf at number 7. Number 6 on the list is Ripper, right next to Reinbeast. Ripper. What does Ripper do? Well, Not much.
Why me? Why not Fester, McManus, or Hockney?
He's an attack-based champion with 1299 attack, 936 defense. He's a glass cannon. He must smack. No quarter attacks one enemy 2 times. Damage increases as the target's HP decreases. All you need is 5 epic skill tomes to get a little bit more damage, to get that nasty ability down to a 3-turn cooldown. And then he has attacks one enemy will ignore 50% of the target's defense, destroys their max HP by 40% of the damage inflicted on a 4-turn cooldown. 3 books go to damage. My man has no multipliers. He's rocking like a 3 multiplier on both of his abilities. Who cares? It's a single target hitter. I mean, this is a guy who again, at one point, sure, he can hit pretty hard in the arena, but no one's using Ripper in the arena nowadays. Prove me wrong. Tweet me or X me or whatever the footage if you guys love Ripper. But I tried him out, I built him, I maxed him, and boy, was I disappointed with his damage. And that's all he has, just damage. All right, we're moving into the top 5. Now, this is where you guys really, really get angry at me, okay? We're gonna take a big shot. We already made fun of Hordin. Now I'm really going to get the people riled up here with talking smack about Relic Keeper.
Let her go.
Very poor choice of words.
Oh, they love Relic Keeper. They love this guy. They love this guy. He's very fast at 90 speed. What is he, a common? What does he do? He's very familiar. He's very, he's like the brother, I would say, maybe the distant cousin of our guy Hordin, because his kit is very similar. Attack one enemy, grants an extra turn if the target's killed. Increase attack on this champion for 4 turns, grants an extra turn. When this enemy's hit by an enemy, place a continuous heal on this champion. How selfish. So my man, you know, his multipliers on his A1 aren't that bad, I guess. It's a single target, extra turn ability, and he brings an increased attack. How can you get excited about this dude? What are you using him as? What are they great? Campaign locations? Is he a campaign farmer, killing every individual champion one at a time with his A1? What are you rocking? 1 minute and 50-second campaign farm? You know? Just put Kale in there, for Christ's sake.
Oh, please don't bring me into this.
All right, Relic Keeper. Man, he's just so underwhelming. And he's one of the, you know, the early Arbiter mission champions. He can really use an update, this guy. I don't get why people still like him. What am I missing here about Relic Keeper? You guys tell me. Straighten me out in the comments. All right, guys, let's take a stroll around the neighborhood. Not you, Missionary. You were close, but you didn't make the list. Romero, you got a buff. You're still not that great, but okay. Lady Atessa, you almost made the list, but you are an ally attacker, and we love ally attack. Mordecai, you're amazing. Fenax Deacon, it's not them. Guess who? I'm looking at you, Bushi. Bushi? Even the name Bushi disturbs me. It's even worse than Harrier. I have a thing about... I digress. Bushi! Again, a very fast champion at 90 speed, just like his brother Relic Keeper. He's the brother, and then Hordin is the cousin.
I don't know what you are talking about.
He's got better base attack, and he's got a whopping 782 defense, no survivability. What does he do? Attacks one enemy, damage increases each time this skill is used, stacks up to 4 times. Great, we can escalate a little bit of damage to a decent amount of damage off of his A1 single target ability. I was hoping that would be like a hit 4 times or something like that. On his Deadly Edge, attacks one enemy. This attack is always critical, fantastic. And then it places an increased crit rate and an increased speed, weak version on this champion for 3 turns. No extra turn or anything. So we have an increased crit rate for a champion whose attacks are always critical on his A2. His passive revives his champion with 30% HP and unkillable for 1 turn. So we can revive this crappy champion, self-revive. That's it, huh? That's it. That's Bushi. All right, guys, so this is tough. This is tough. Where do we go from here? A lot of people say this is the worst epic champion in the game. And you know what? I can understand why. She's actually the only one that gets the appropriate in-game reviews, because you need to be playing this game and know a thing or two before you get this champion, right? And that is Krakarth. Krakarth, Harrier, Bushi, these names, I swear. Krakarth is trashola. She's the last champion you get from your Doom Tower normal farming. This is your final reward for months and months and months, years for some players, of farming those boring ass Doom Tower secret rooms. You know, what do you get? You get this. You get this HP champion. She has a chance of removing a random debuff from a random ally. Will not remove a debuff from this champion. I mean, come on. Like, that's our final reward? I mean, look at Duden. Look at Duden. Has a 60% chance of removing a random debuff from all allies. That's how you make a solid A1 for an epic champion that's so hard to get. Golly, right? Golly. I mean, son of a jackal, what were they thinking when they made that?
You know, I was drunk.
Attacks one enemy, places a revive on death on this champion, not all allies, just this champion for 1 turn. Because, I mean, she's so nasty, we gotta put a revive on death. I mean, just fits the kit beautifully. And then Lord Lee Might, a strengthen and a shield on all allies for 2 turns. This is not a bad ability, not a bad ability. It is on a 7 turn, booked down to 4. But nowadays in this game, we have rare champions that have an AoE big version of strengthen on a 3 turn cooldown. I'm looking at you, Denid the Tusk Horn, something.
Maybe even learn the name first.
This is not that special of ability anymore. Increase the value of all shields on all allies by 15% while this champion is alive. That's it? That's it? That's it? Man, what a... I was going to say one-dimensional champion. What a zero-dimensional champion. All right, who could beat her? Who could beat her? This is a shame. This is a shame because I actually really... Something about this dude, I love him. Even though he sucks, I love him. I love the big white bear. I love the big white bear. I think the black bear is actually pretty better. He's better than the white bear. But the white bear, man, he looks so cool. I wish he was good so bad. He was an old school battle pass champion, you know, Frozen Banshee and Ursine Ice Crusher and Whirlim Frost King. Those were the battle pass. They did 1 season of it and they're like, yeah, this is too much value. Scrap it. Scrap it. But you know what wasn't part of that value proposition? The white bear. Ursine Ice Crusher. They actually have a good, I thought they had a good lore story. They don't even, I could have sworn at one point they had a lore story on these guys. I could have sworn I read it. Anyway, I digress. He's fast. He's kind of tanky on the defense. What does he do? He has a 10% block active skills on his A1. It can be 30% if you want to invest your books in this champion. I don't see why you would. He has an AoE that deals no damage with a decreased crit rate buff. Yeah, decent against bosses. But man, that's his whole kit. Decrease the damage all allies receive from critical hits by 15%. Fills his champion's turn meter by 5% whenever an enemy lands a strong, normal, or weak hit. So he's got a little bit of turn meter fill. He's got a decrease from critical hits with a decreased crit rate, which is, it sounds decent on paper. The only problem is he has to take up a slot on your damn team, you know? A dude who's doing no damage, bringing a decreased crit rate and a little bit of critical heal mitigation, a little bit. Critical heals, critical hits rather, they don't happen that frequently, you know? When they do happen, you know, either you have a lot of buffs, a revive or whatever, or your team is smoked. Having a little bit of a mitigation there on the passive isn't going to be enough. Having the total decreased crit rate is not bad on the A2, but for that to be the only thing in this dude's entire kit, a decreased crit rate, and that's it? That's it? It's not worth investing in, you know? Man, he's a crappy bear. It's a shame too, because even in Faction Wars, I would not invest in this guy. All right, who's number 1? I almost feel bad now. I love that bear. I almost feel bad trashing him and putting him all the way at number 2. Is that wrong? He's just so bad. You guys know I've been crying about this guy for years and years and years. I almost feel like they don't buff him just to spite me. I feel like they're just mad at me. For all my rant videos, they're like, you know what? Out of spite, we're not going to touch this champion ever. Eat that, Ash.
Excuse me, who are you?
Warden. Yeah, he's the number 1 worst epic in the game. You can't tell me otherwise. The thing is I take it personal on Warden because I bought into the Warden hype back in 2019. I was a little novice raid player. Who am I kidding? I'm still a novice raid player. But little Warden, I was like, first of all, this guy looks kind of badass. I was like, yeah, he's got it going on. Look at that kind of steampunk haircut, whatever. And then I looked at his base stats. I'm on a defense-based AoE champion. This is exciting. I didn't have many AoE champions on the list at all today because there's a lot of like really one-dimensional single target hitters. So why do I hate him? Okay. First of all, let's talk about the books. He is a book trap. By the way, honorable mention to Yaga the Insatiable. At least it brings some poisons, but book trap. Look at the A1. Attack one enemy. Has a 40, can be booked all the way up to like 100%. Placing the weak version of Weaken. The weak version of Weaken. Just really quickly, guys. That is like 18 epic skill tomes to place what a starting champion has, 75% big version. Athel has each hit. She has a 70, forget about books. Each hit on a triple hitter, she's placing the big version of Weaken. And now an epic champion, a starter champion. And now an epic champion requires 150,000 books. 2 million books to get this guy's A1 to place the weak version of Weaken. How about the Rending Flames? An AoE 5-turn. What do we get on a 5-turn cooldown unless we want to invest all our hard-earned books on this guy? We have a 50% chance to place a big version, the weak version of decrease attack. He's the only epic that you need the Nature's Bounty blessing on. Come on, man. He has a 50% chance of placing the weak version of decrease attack. Places the weak version of decreased defense on all allies for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. No, that ain't it. And then we have Wall of Thorns. Well, God, this better be nasty. All right, finally, we're cooking here. It's an attacks all enemies 1 time. First of all, you know a champion's out freaking dated when it says attacks all enemies 1 time. Have they even looked at Warden? Do you even know he's alive, Plarium? Do you even know this champion's alive? Attacks all enemies 1 time. Places a reflect damage buff on all allies for 2 turns. Okay. Well, you know what? He's a defense-based nuker, so he must do a ton of damage. Oh, no, wait! His damage scales off of attack. It scales off of attack first and then defense. So his only AoE that you can actually invest 6 skill tomes to get down to a 3-turn cooldown to get your beloved reflect damage up is an attack base. What's his base attack? 870! So what do you get? You get no damage. You waste all your skill tomes. You get the weak version of decrease attack, the weak version of Weaken on this guy who deals no damage and has HP in arena battles. Warden, you take the trophy today, my friend. Guys, who did I leave off the list that should have been on the list? And who did I have on the list that was either ranked too high in my worst champions ranking or just didn't belong on the list? Let me have it, guys. Let me have it in the comments. Thank you for watching till the end of the video. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.